Mwah, 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 mwah. So I've been watching Beastars.
中の毛色顔と同じなのね
例えば小動物の間だけの
綺麗なクリ
When it comes to watching anime, I'll admit, I'm someone that generally tends to play it safe and watch what people tend to universally like or whatever's popular. Or I'll just let Taylor play something in front of me while I turn my brain off. But on occasion, I sometimes like to go off the beaten path and watch shows that Taylor doesn't usually watch, or my friends usually don't watch, or is something that comes as a complete surprise to them. This has led to me watching things such as Angel's Egg, Macross Plus, a lot of David Lynch's works, and Goblin Slayer Episode 1. And when it came to Beastars, it was definitely one of those anime that I initially didn't care that much about. Taylor watched it at one point and eventually dropped it after one season. I had previously heard a lot of good things about Beastars. I've also seen the memes. Now, as someone who is a fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog games, I'm no stranger to the madness that surrounds these works that include anthropomorphic characters. So I thought to myself, fuck it. After all I've seen, could Beastars be any worse? And to be honest, it was alright. Do I recommend this show to everyone? I'll get to that in a bit. But right now, I just want to talk about my thoughts and feelings regarding Beastars and let you know if it's an anime worth your time. Also, possible spoilers ahead for Beastars. Before I began watching Beastars, I've heard that the description of this show is it's Zootopia, but darker. I haven't seen Zootopia before, so I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know it is canonical to the Resident Evil universe.
And plenty of room to run and play.
Right. I mostly just read Zootopia porn, so...
I can actually agree with the latter half of that statement. Beastars gets pretty dark, and some of these themes we'll get to later on in the video, after the summary. Beastars takes place in a world with anthropomorphic characters. Characters that are classified by their species, but also by their dietary habits. Here you have a world where carnivores and herbivores exist, and carnivores are expected to suppress their desires to eat the herbivores. What I like about Beastars is that there is an evident tension that always exists between the two groups of animals, but it is never explicitly told to us. We can kind of just feel it in a room that herbivores and carnivores are both occupying. Just a sort of silent judging taking place between the two groups. To help ease this tension, certain beasts are chosen to act as an example for all beasts, and help lead both herbivores and carnivores, and hopefully unite them. The beasts that are chosen are known as Beastars. Beastars starts out with a bang. No, not that one. With a murder. A strong start, equivalent to starting an elementary school essay with an onomatopoeia. We see that the victim was an alpaca named Tem, who was a member of the Cherryton Academy's drama club. However, this wasn't just any ordinary murder. We're led to believe that Tem was eaten by a carnivore, which, if you recall, is a big no-no in the world of Zootopia but darker. Through this death, we're given introductions to some of the other drama club members, including our main character, Legoshi. Legoshi is an awkward and quiet grey wolf. I actually like Legoshi a lot, since he makes for a great everyman. We see moments where he can be pretty badass, and see the best of his character shine on occasion, but for the most part, it seems like the entire world is against the poor guy. He's constantly misjudged and looked at as an outcast, and while he does have some flaws, he does acknowledge them and do his best to fight back against them. Another member of the drama club is Lewis, a red deer who is the head actor for the drama club, and also the prime candidate for the title of Beastar. Lewis is the opposite of Legoshi. He is charismatic, arrogant, and beloved by everyone at Cherryton, and his problems are also the opposite of Legoshi's. You see, Lewis is physically very fragile and has insecurity surrounding the lack of physical strength he possesses. Legoshi, on the other hand, is afraid of the fact that he has way too much strength as a carnivore and wishes that he were judged for his docile nature as opposed to his outward physical appearance. The whole time I was watching this show, I felt like there was this almost Guts and Griffith dynamic to these two characters, but if Guts and Griffith were part of a high school drama club. Further doubling down on this comparison, we have our quote-unquote Casca of the group that completes this lovely and very stress-inducing love triangle. The white dwarf rabbit, Haru, a student who used to be the president of Cherryton's gardening club and is currently studying botany. Haru is the center of attention to most of the boys at the academy, including Lewis and Legoshi. The problem that Haru faces is that she is constantly seen as less of a person and more so someone that needs to be saved and protected. something that certainly frustrates her since she desires to be seen as her own person. At first, we see Lewis in a secret relationship with Haru, which came as a huge bombshell to me. But later on, her relationship with Legoshi develops, and we start to slowly see them get closer to each other. This ends up being very complicated for both parties though, since one beast is a carnivore and the other an herbivore. Instinctually, Legoshi wants to eat her, and almost does in episode 1. Not really a great first impression. Meanwhile, Haru instinctually wants to get the out anytime Legoshi is around. So it goes without saying that this relationship is super complicated, and makes up most of the foundation of season 1's plot. That murder mystery thing I mentioned at the beginning just kinda goes out the window for the rest of the season. The first season of Beastars in a way reminds me of Twin Peaks. This show as a whole actually reminds me of Twin Peaks, but maybe with a lot less Lynchian surrealism. Damn, maybe I should call this video Beastars, the Twin Peaks of anime. Both shows open with a murder, setting up the show's world, with the murder taking a backseat to other happenings in the town, wacky and lovable characters, but also a darker underbelly that lurks beneath the town and its inhabitants. When I first saw Lewis was in a relationship with Haru, it weirdly reminded me of the shock I felt when seeing Sheriff Truman with Josie Packard. I don't know, it just kind of connected with me, I don't know. Back to Beastars, I'll go ahead and quickly run through some of the things I like about the show before I get back to my final recommendation. The way certain themes are handled in the show are incredible. I don't want to go too deep into them since I think Beastars does leave its themes open to the audience's interpretation, but it has a little something for everyone. The way the animals are used for allegories for real-world struggles is great. And obviously this is something we've seen done before outside of anime, and I'm sure within anime. However, what I like about Beastars is that the animals aren't just metaphors, and each individual character is given a level of complexity and depth that revolves around the dispositions we have towards that character's animal. That's why after watching this show, I felt like it was hard to dismiss Beastars as an anime for the furries, since I don't think Beastars could get a lot of its points across with having only human characters. At least the way it would want to. Beastars is a dark show. There's a lot of violence and disturbing subject matters that are covered. Once again, not going to dive too deep into this one, just because I don't want to test the boundaries of what YouTube will let me discuss, but these dark themes do make the world of Beastars feel real, and plays back into the idea of conveying real-world allegories and events through the furry anime. At the time of writing this script, I'm almost finished with Season 2, and I would have to say I prefer Season 2 over Season 1. Simply because Season 2 puts more focus on Legoshi and his drive to figure out who murdered Tem. For the most part, it seems like the romance between Legoshi and Haru takes a back seat. I guess I should come clean and say this now. Even though the romance between Legoshi and Haru is supposed to play a big role in Beastars, I don't really care that much for it. A lot of the other interactions and story elements are great, but the romance is just something I don't care for. To be fair, it's not very often I care about the romantic elements in most stories, just because it's not something that really appeals to me. I stated earlier that the relationship between these two is stress-inducing, and that's actually a compliment. While I don't care that much for the romantic elements of Beastars, despite making up 50% of the plot, I can appreciate the fact that the time was taken to make the relationship complex. It feels like Haru and Legoshi have to genuinely work out their own personal issues, and issues that stand between them, before making this relationship work. This doesn't feel like a simple, almost Disney-style romance, and I can at least give props to Beastars for doing that. Also, how the f did Lewis become a mob boss of Lion Yakuza? I know they explain how it happened, but it was definitely out of left field for me to see a sudden change from Season 1 to Season 2. Dude basically became Nishiki from Yakuza. But whatever, I guess that's how Mafia works. So, would I recommend Beastars? Yes and no. I think if you're someone who's been sitting on the fence or have some interest in wanting to watch it before this video, go ahead and give it a watch. But if you're someone who has seen the Beastars out of context clips, or just don't care about the show that much to begin with, then don't watch it. I think it's fair if you don't want to watch Beastars. It's definitely one of the odder premises from an anime I've seen, and it's definitely not for everyone. Personally, I think it's alright, and I'm looking forward to see how the whole thing ends once Season 3 comes out. And while 50% of the show I didn't really care for, I really like the other 50%, something I know I'll get for, but I still found Beastars to be overall a very enjoyable show. Thank you everyone for watching. Like I said, if you are interested in Beastars before this video, then I recommend you give it a watch. But if you're someone that was never interested in Beastars to begin with, that's perfectly fine. I could understand why you wouldn't want to watch it. I guess the lesson for this episode is sometimes if you go out of your comfort zone, you might find something you actually like. In my case, it was 50% of Beastars. Anyways guys, if you like the video, be sure to like it, subscribe if you haven't already to see more of our upcoming videos, and for now, I'm looking at doing a video on Uzumaki, or something on Spirited Away. Probably something on Uzumaki first, just because it's the Halloween season, so expect that maybe in the next couple weeks or so. And let me know in the comments below if you plan on watching Beastars, or if you don't plan on watching Beastars, that's fine.